Okay, so we're going to be looking at creating patterns. So the document you're opening is activity 414. And what we're going to do is make a little pattern to go into the background of this orange label. And then you're on your own going to do the same thing with the right-hand melon marmalade label. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to double click to enter isolation mode and then double click again so that I've isolated the logo, and I'm just going to copy it and then double click away. And then what I want to do is just zoom out a little bit and make a new artboard just temporarily so that I can paste the artwork on here and create my pattern. So I don't want the pattern to be quite as bright as this because it's going to dominate a little bit too much. So I'm going to adjust the colors a bit, and I'm going to do that with this recolor artwork. So I'm going to go to recolor artwork, to edit. I'm going to click on link harmony colors, and I'm going to just take this key color, the larger circle, and just move towards the middle so that my colors become more muted and kind of pastel-y. I'm going to really kind of mute those down a lot. Okay, then I want to just draw a box, because if I made a pattern out of this, these oranges will be right up against each other. So I want to just create a box to tile them a little bit further out and to create a background color. So I'm just going to use my eyedropper to pick up this yellow, and then to make sure there's no stroke, otherwise I'm going to get very clear tiling in my pattern. And then I'm going to arrange that to the back, select everything, and center, so it's nicely aligned. So with everything selected, I'm going to make my pattern now. Object, pattern, make. And it makes my pattern, and it gives me a whole lot of controls here, but I'm actually happy with the way it is. So I'm just going to call it oranges. And then press this button up here, done. You might have to press it twice. Now I'm finished with this artwork, I can get rid of it. And I can focus back on the first artboard. So if I go in here, double click, until I've isolated that background label, and then I'm going to go to my swatches, and there's my pattern. And then click on it. So obviously the pattern is far too big. So I'm going to go to Object, Transform, Scale, and I'm going to make sure that I'm only scaling the pattern here. So I'm going to turn off Transform Objects and leave Transform Patterns on. And then I'm going to bring the uniform scale down to 20%. Okay, and then I'm also going to go to Object, Transform, Rotate, and I'm going to make sure Transform Patterns is the only thing on, and I'm just going to rotate this pattern 45 degrees. Okay, and then I'm going to double click away, and there I now have my own custom pattern that I've created in the background of this label. So what I want you to do is to repeat these steps and make a pattern to go into the background here. You can create your own artwork to go in the pattern. The only thing that I would definitely strongly advise you to do is to stay away from too much complexity in the artwork that you use to make a pattern, because it can cause you problems. So try and keep your artwork for patterns to simple shapes and solid fills, and you can't go wrong. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and see you next time.